Hi, and welcome to Diaspora Fusion. On today's show, we come to discover that disability is really not inability when it comes to art. We get to sample a bit of a kibanda, and we get to discover soul food right here at the heart of Nairobi. My name is Evie Minor. Welcome to the show. On Did You Know, here is a little bit of tea. Recently, President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed 24 ambassadors and high commissioners. Among them is Mr. Thomas Omolo, popularly known as Big Ted. He was appointed to Los Angeles, USA as General Consul. Diaspora Fusion wishes Big Ted all the best. On today's Artist of the Day, we meet Kevin Oduor, one of Kenya's internationally acclaimed artists. He triumphs where most will not and goes to show that
Why not do what he's doing? Why not stop painting? Painting is not challenging to me. Why not pick something that is quite of a challenge? And that is now my concentration on sculpture started. And I started using clay as a medium. And I used to prepare the clay myself and started sculpting. With a lot of reading in the library. I used to go a lot to the Eastland Library actually do research. First, when I started doing sculpture, it was not easy to sell sculpture. I was doing some small Maasai heads, some small structures that I could actually, my outlet was African Heritage, which used to sell a lot of craftswork.
A London van.
Yeah, so that is how it started. Then from there, there's this new space that came up at the museum. It was called Nairobi Museum Studios, which ended up being called Kuona Trust. So when this space was opened, some of the first artists, I'm one of them in that space. So I started now working directly, not from home, not from my mother's place, but now directly at the museum studios. And that is now where my career started picking up. That is where I started meeting clients. That is where I did my first major project, which was at Lord Errol restaurant in Runda, whereby I did some shields. And then I realized that, oh, someone could come to me, commission something, and I do it. So that is now how I started now getting into the field of public art, whereby I'm doing something for someone to pay me, and then it's shown in the public. Yes, so that is how it all started.
Great. Yes. What other examples do you have of your works in the public?
One, I did Maasai and Lion that went to Hanover in Germany. It went to the Kenyan stand in Expo. I can't remember the year, but it was in an expo. It was the centerpiece at the stand. Now that is when I realized, wow, I could do more. It brought me some work, and the first thing I did after that was the Kimathi statue, which was also unexpected. But it was part of my dream to at least have an artwork in town.
You mean the one opposite Hilton?
Yes,
wow.
The one on Kimathi Street.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a major project, and that actually catapulted me now to start working on different projects. Syokimau railway station, I have another piece.
Oh.
At the Radisson Blue, I have another piece.
Nice.
At Uhuru Park, at the Mau Mau Memorial, I have another piece. And currently, I'm also working on another project that is going to be unveiled very soon. At first, it was very hard for people to believe that I could do sculpture because of the physical challenge. Some people thought I was an imposter when they see my work. Some people, I had to approach a second or third party to get some work. So for me that was a challenge, because it's like people were looking at the disability side, and now when they come to realize that I do these things, they have a lot of confidence. So that is one of the challenges. The second challenge is when you come to machinery, when you come to power tools. Power tools are made for people who are right-handed. I'm using my left hand.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it means each time I have to know how to use the power tool. A new tool, I have to practice how to use it. I use grinders. I am a welder. So I do also welding. But there are other things that I did first, not thinking of the money part of it, but of thinking of promoting myself so that people understand what you are doing. Because in our education system, art was just something that was behind the scenes. So it was very difficult to convince people that
we wish you all the best, especially in your upcoming project. And I'm pretty sure that Look Up TV will be there to support you.
Thank you.
Current Kitchen is a restaurant right here at the heart of Nairobi that prides itself on soul food. From the ambience to the food to the entire presentation. We talked to Lawrence to tell us more. How are you?
Doing well.
Oh, great. It's great today for us as Diaspora Fusion to be here at Karen Kitchen. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So first of all, let's get into it. What's your name and what do you do at Karen Kitchen?
My name is Lawrence Amaya. I manage Karen Kitchen. My main job basically is like integrating all the different departments of the restaurant, from the bar to the kitchen to the stores, and to the administration, the human resources and everything else to make sure that the business is profitable, and we're delivering quality food and quality service. Our menu is an integration is a combination of continental and African, in the sense that, for instance, when a foreigner comes in, they can have something that is familiar to them from our continental menu, and if they want to sample some of the African food, they can also find them on the menu, so they can have a bottle of everything. And we try to implement it with some good service, and the food is quality, sourced from fresh sources. Yeah, I think that's what makes us maybe unique, and our location.
So you came smack in the middle. You started working here smack in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
How was the situation like back then?
It hasn't been easy to say, because first of all, the times were limited. We had curfews, so we were operating for a very few hours, and it happened a lot of people were not working, so that was not a very good thing, but a good thing in the sense that it was easy to get quality staff to work with. So we have a great team with us, and the challenge was again selling, because you'd find a lot of people didn't have money, and when you compare it maybe with the Diaspora Fusion, again, they want a lot of foreigners here. So again, our menu catered really well to our local customers, because they could get their local foods here, and for those who love the continental food, they would get them as well. But the main challenge was we weren't selling as much as we would have wanted to sell, because again, the timings. And for those who are working, they were working during the day, and in the evenings when you expect maybe to have a few of the customers, you weren't having as much because the times were so limited. So that was a challenge.
Wow, yeah. Wow. And we're here now,
Yes.
almost back to normal? Back to normal.
Almost back to normal, but challenges are forever there. Again, when we're almost picking up, again, the challenge of inflation has come in. So sometimes, in as much as we are selling, you won't be making as much margins from it as opposed to pre-COVID era. And that again means people don't have a lot of money in their pockets to spare to eat out and drink out. So that again poses a challenge. So we have to find a way how we can keep guys eating and drinking without hurting their pockets so much. And for that reason, we have a very pocket-friendly menu. So we think our menus are quite affordable. So because at the end of the day, we just want people to have quality food, quality beverages without hurting themselves so much.
So we're eating today. What are we going to be having?
Today you guys will be eating some pork ribs. Yeah, some pork ribs. The pork ribs the porks are a mixture of a bit African and continental, because the pork ribs are first boiled in traditional herbs, then they are later toasted in barbecue sauce and served with veg rice, or you can have mashed, or you can have rice and some veggies.
Rice
or regalia if you want. Yeah.
today's business segment, we talk to Max Sverats. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He is a French national living here in Kenya and is investing in different things and businesses around Kenya. One of them is Kune Foods, a food startup company. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. What is your name?
My name is Max. I come from France.
Oh, nice.
And I've been in Kenya for 4 years.
4 years?
Yes,
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
Please tell us a little bit about your background. Like, what do you do and how did it begin?
Yeah, sure. So I'm in finance and venture capital. My expertise is to start and finance companies in emerging markets. I started my career as a consultant in a consulting company called Boston Consulting Group in Morocco. And since then, I worked in private equity and venture capital. I was in Cameroon for SME finance company. I was then in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, for SME financing programs. And I came to Kenya in 2018 to work in fintech. And since then, I've been starting companies, financing companies, starting investment funds. And I really enjoy starting companies in Kenya.
Wow, fantastic. I can imagine fintech is a really big business in Kenya.
Kenya is the country of M-Pesa.
Yes. So how did it all begin? How did you zero in on Kenya and say, okay, after you've come to work here, but what made you want to stay?
So I've lived in many different countries. In the Western world, also in Africa. And after I worked in Cameroon and in Haiti, I was looking for a place that was kind of stable, where I could feel that I could be building businesses on the long term and build something for the long term. And I had always heard of Kenya as being the country of M-Pesa. They seem to have, when you're in France, we see pictures of this Maasai man with a phone, sending money from the phone. So I found it interesting to see what was going on in this country. And that's how I came for more on the fintech and the M-Pesa idea. And as I settled here, I thought there was all the reasons to stay for longer and to build something. Because I think Kenya has all what you need to be successful and to build your life.
Fantastic. So what were some of the things you said Kenya has all you need to be successful? So what were some of the things that you were looking at and saying, okay, this really works for me?
So Kenya is amazing on the many different points. To begin with, the people there are very smart, very friendly. Everyone is going to school. Everyone is very entrepreneurial. Anything you want to start, you will find a lot of people that you can work with, develop business activities with. People are hard workers. So it's a pleasure and very easy to be working with the people from Kenya. Secondly, the country is quite stable. The government, even though there are some ethnical rivalries, they are working together, doing alliances to keep the country stable. The infrastructures are good. The roads are very good. Access to electricity is among the best. Access to financial services as well. There's also very good infrastructure. And so I feel that you can really build real businesses in Kenya. And I don't have the impression that what I learned in Kenya is useless in the rest of the world. I think that the skills I build from starting companies here are easily transferable anywhere else in the world. And when it comes to personal life, the nature is amazing. You can be in the desert, you can be in the forest, you can be by the sea. The culture is amazing. All the tribes of Kenya have an amazing culture, amazing art craft, from the soapstone from Kisii, the wood from the Kamba, the beading work of the Maasai, what the Swahili do as well. It's a country that is extremely rich.
Wow, cool, fantastic. So Kune means togetherness.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How important is it that you put togetherness out there? Because togetherness and unity are the same. So how important is it that in your cuisine, you're able to embody all these different aspects of African togetherness?
So we believe that food is something that brings people together. Sharing a meal with someone is a way to share something together. When you're in the office and everyone orders kune, you can just be sitting all together and enjoying your lunch. And the menus themselves have a different variety. You can find any kind of staple food like mudokoi or githeri, but things like chicken and wings. and it can allow everyone to eat by its own taste, but eat together.
Yeah, great. So, what are some of the challenges that you have encountered being here and being in business in Kenya?
To be honest, not much. I think everything is made for people to thrive. I have really nothing to complain about Kenya.
What is it? How is the cuisine like? What is it about? What is Kune? What does Kune embody? And why is it called Kune?
Yeah. So Kune is a word from a language called Esperanto, which is a universal language made out of words from different other languages. And Kune means together. It's also a word that is very easy to use in different countries and in different contexts. And so the idea of Kune is to have a food delivery company that is focused on food and food quality. When you order from Jumia Food, you pay a very expensive price because you need to pay a restaurant that has a facility, that has staff. And even though you eat it from your office, you're also paying for the restaurant location and you're paying for the staff. Whereas if you're ordering, you should only be paying for the food. So at Kune, they don't have a restaurant. They don't have waiters. They have a massive food kitchen with excellent chefs, very good ingredients, and all the money that you pay is focused on having good quality food, good quality chefs, and you are not paying for what you don't get, which is like a restaurant location and waiters. So they have a big kitchen. They get fresh ingredients every day, and they change the menu every day, and they cook very fresh meals every day that are delivered to your office at a very affordable price because you only pay for the chef and for the food. So you get almost keep on a price food with restaurant quality.
You mentioned that you invest, you have different businesses that you have invested in. Tell us a bit more about this.
Yeah, so what I like to do is to find interesting business ideas that I think are missing, start them, bring the initial capital for the business to start, and then help the company raise more funds to be able to grow. So I've done this in many different sectors. I started a fintech company called Asilimia with a Kenyan co-founder. I've been involved in some food-related business as well. I started a crepe business with a friend, thin pancakes with a friend of mine. I started a smoked salmon company with a Kenyan chef, a friend of mine. I also started a local coffee roastering company with a coffee farmer friend of mine, where we help coffee farmers to roast their own coffee and sell it as a finished product. I also started a coffee machine leasing business with this Kenyan coffee farmer friend of mine, so that they can also sell his coffee as espresso. Helped a friend start a travel company called Winda Guide that provides travel experiences for Kenyans to visit their own country. And more recently, I helped start, invest and advise a food company called Kune Foods. I'm wearing the t-shirt today.
Nice.
Which is doing ready to eat.
Yeah. Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about Kune. What is it about and what market are you looking at?
Yeah. So the idea for Kune came from my experience working from an office in Nairobi, where for lunchtime, food, like meals of some were few. Either I would go out to the kibanda, it means going out to the office, working for 10-15 minutes, sitting, eating the food. That was kind of good, but not a lot of variety. Menu was the same every day. And sometimes there could be a small stone in the rice. No big deal, but like some small things once in a while. Or the option would be to order on Jumia Food, paying 1,000, 1,200 shillings. The food will arrive to my office, but it would be quite expensive. And also quite long because you need to wait almost like 45 minutes. So I thought, why is there not a way I can order delivered to my office without having to work? Food that would be of good quality and affordable price. So I've always thought this business should exist. And I met a French guy who was coming to Kenya. He wanted to start a company here. And I told him, I think what you should start is a company that is producing food of good quality, affordable prices for office workers. Because I've seen the need myself every day. And I think you're going to make a killing if you just do this company. And that's how Kune started.
Wow, I hope you've had as much fun as I did on today's show. From the art to the kibanda with a twist to the soul food. In case of any questions, comments, please do feel free to contact us on our social media pages. Until next time, it's goodbye.